build airports in Azerbaijan to the same company. And I had lunch with the Prime Minister and some other persons, including the Chief Executive Officer of Azal, the Azerbaijani airline. We agreed that they will come sometime in this month. I had some information, they asked for some additional information. In fact, as soon as I left the meeting, I called Rudy on my cell phone while I was in the car, Rudy Matthias, and I said, I need this information. They have it prepared for me by the time I come back because we have to send it off to the Azerbaijanis so that they will prepare themselves well before they come, hopefully sometime before the end of this month. And there's no question that we are going to get assistance from Azerbaijan on the airline, on the airport. The question as to the terms of the assistance and so forth will depend on when they come and visit, see what happens and the information we give them. I don't want to talk about ballpark figures which I spoke to them about. Wait until they come.
Some intentions will be among the 1,800 Caribbean nationals who will have their citizenship revoked by Canadian officials in what they term as, quote, heightened fraudulent claims for asylum, end of quote. Responding to a question posed by a member of the media, the Prime Minister said calls had been made for those who were making false assertions to desist from doing so.
The position is that there is really, in our open democratic country, there's really no basis for persons to be going to seek to abuse the immigration system in Canada by applying for refugee status. We know that there are a lot of bogus claims. Searchlight itself has done research in one particular case, for instance, and then there are others. I mean, everybody knows somebody who tried to apply and when they tried to make up stories and so on and so forth. And for years I've been saying that if persons continue to do that, there will be a wider suffering because the Canadians may begin to tighten up. Because you get to spend 2 years, 3 years there while the refugee claim is going through. But really, the bulk of the people don't get through, despite the fact that the refugee laws in Canada are very liberal, and because the authorities which make the judgment also apply the laws and regulations in a very liberal manner. Despite all that, most people will get turned down. And I'm sure that those who get approved, they probably say, well, we are lucky. This is not to say that we don't have domestic violence here and that there are challenges for women with domestic violence. But the systems which address the issue. Unfortunately, what will happen if Canada were to tighten its regulations is that the persons who are less skilled will be the ones, less trained would be the ones who will have greater difficulty in getting visas. We haven't reached that stage yet. No. The point that you make is that some persons have had citizenship and they're addressing the issue now whether some got their citizenship illegally, that they lied and so on. In every country, they review procedures. It's in European countries, it's in Canada, it's in America. We have it here too. Only ours is not as well developed and thorough because there are persons who may get citizenship here on the basis of marriages of convenience, for instance. And if it is discovered that there are marriages of convenience within a particular time frame, the citizenship can be revoked. and so on and so forth. Each country has a particular regime. I have not myself studied the immigration law in Canada because I'm not an expert in the field. But I know that the Foreign Ministry that on an ongoing basis, and I myself, when I meet the Canadian ambassador, the Canadian High Commissioner, that we talk about this issue, and so they know that the government is not being party to any of these things and that we're not encouraging it. So if an individual goes and use deception to get the citizenship in Canada and they lose their citizenship as a consequence of the deception, there's very little that I can do. I mean, it's like if somebody breaks the law in a country and they want and a country wants to get them out, it's very little that I can do if the person breaks the law. If it's a case where there's a witch hunt, that's a different thing. Then you make the necessary representation. So I don't know. I have read broadly the issue.
The People's National Party, the PNP of Jamaica, defeated the Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, 42 seats to 21 in the December 29 polls, making the JLP the first one-term government since that country gained its independence in 1962. PM Gonsalves congratulated Prime Minister Mrs. Portia Simpson-Miller on her impressive victory.
And you wouldn't be able to live properly with yourself. And I walk through this medium to send congratulations to my dear friend Portia Simpson-Miller for the fantastic victory of the People's National Party, which you know is a fraternal party to the Unity Labour Party. And you notice a lot of the youngsters and the JLP didn't do so well. And even the leader, he won his seat by 100-something votes. And we were told that they were going to sweep the polls. You know, or at least it had gotten tight and they were going to do so well and so forth. You know, youth is one thing, and the youth is very important because there's a lot of energy in young people, and we need to make sure that energy passes. But people want to know that you have safe hands to it. And people want to know a certain amount of wisdom. That you have spent a little time in the wilderness, you have had a little wilderness years experience. You know, and the Old Testament is repeated that the fellows who would not anywhere, those who have wilderness years. So, I remember when Mr. Hon became Prime Minister at 39, a lot of people are writing that every government must follow, every leader must follow the experience, follow the example of Bruce Golding, and leave. Because Bruce Golding had a problem. He himself said that he couldn't handle the thing. Others and other things were choking him. So he had to leave. I don't want nothing choking me. People just elect me. Let us leave. I really don't. Sometimes and they will go on the radio and they will write it and they will sing. I saw big people writing these things.
Kathy Rose reporting for the API.